Hello, Adonais. How are you today? I'm very good, thank you. Always catch up sporadically. Sometimes I stay up a bit longer to see if you will come, but you don't. When do you usually come on? So, every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. Vancouver time, I will be here. on the stream of YouTube. And because now it's holiday season, I have more time. So this week I was online. I have been online 8 a.m. most of this week, every day. Otherwise, if it's not holiday season, um, around 9:45 p.m. Vancouver time, sometime before I go to bed, I will meditate and just turn on the YouTube. Anyone can join me to meditate and Q&A. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's just spontaneously. I want to sit and turn on the YouTube. But again, 8 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday is scheduled. How are you today? Hi, Persian. Experience being it's more and more clear that we are the awareness embodied in this body and mind. It's it's a beautiful realization that everyone could realize. That's how beautiful we are as a human being. Definitely, there's up and downs because there's experience unpleasant and or pleasant. We are still in a human body, but it all depends how you look at it. So perception plays a major role. We cannot control what we are experiencing, but we can uh, modify how we're experiencing. I think that's the role meditation plays. How you perceive can change how you experience. It's a slow process. It permeates experience more and more each day. Though wants to rush the process, but I don't mind. Very good. Though it becoming more aligned with understanding each passing moment. Very good. So after you are awakened, you can be aware of yourself. The awareness can be aware itself and really rest there for seconds, minutes, or hours. That's the starting. That's the beginning of awakening. So what if I use the conscious consciousness only school of Buddhism to talk about it? The conscious only school, a branch of Buddhism, divides our normal consciousness or mind into 8 subconsciousness. So, on, for example, when you smell something, even with eyes closed, you notice it's a, for example, apple. While you're smelling it or touch something, you know what's that. So it's a category of or sub uh, like memories. You know, it's some when you touch the apple or smell the apple, even your eyes are closed, you know it's an apple. So every sensory organs have a memory, has a memory. Mm, what I'm going to say is, once you know, you can be aware. The awareness can be aware of itself. Now, there's a little bit disharmony between the sixth uh, sense, which is our mind, the normal mind, and the seventh manners. The seventh in Buddha's teaching is the identification of I, which we have established for a long, long time. Not only this life, not but also all the lives we have, had. That I am this body, I'm this mind, I'm all these feelings, emotions. So basically, we are using the sixth sense, the conscious mind, now to train the seventh mind, seventh consciousness, manas, the wrong identification of I, so to correct it into the real truth, the real self, which is, you know, a true being, a true awareness. So once you know I'm the awareness only, there's a back and forth or a fight or disharmony between the sixth sense, the logic reasoning mind, and the seventh mind, the seventh sense, the wrong identification of I. So there's a back and forth, depends on your practice, your devotion, your determination, how hard or how well you manage yourself. If there was maybe months, years, even lives of practice, okay. But once you know your awareness itself, that's that you open the door of awakening. So that's important. This will explain why there's a slow process. It's very normal. I'm in this process right now. Anyway, the more the awareness can be aware of itself, undisturbed, undistracted, the more you realize you are the awareness only. Everything else is made of awareness. Your memory, your education, your relationship, your family, and so on. It's all based on the awareness itself. So it like your word, it becoming more aligned with understanding each passing moment. That's it. Until one day you don't need any effort to be. Or in a Western psychology, uh, it's neuroplasticity. It's like a route or a trail in the forest. Before there's no trail, so everyone walk on it, and it become a little bit trail or road. So we have many old trails in our mind, right? Now you try to demolish it or move it away. It's not that easy. You have to find another trail, which a trail of awakening. So it takes time to walk on to how to say to to create a new awakening trail. Physically, I mean, every neurons fire together, wires together. Make sense to you? So we have to fire that thought again and again that I am the awareness only. And you experience that way, at least a couple of moments, or in everyday life. Then when that experience, all the thoughts, I'm the awareness only, and you experiencing that way too, it generates a new trail of awakening physically. Something like any skill, actually, like you bike, like we learned how to bike, right? Ride the bike. First took a couple of weeks. We have to learn how to turn left, turn right, and how to balance ourselves in the traffic. But eventually, or how to say, at the last, you don't need to you don't think anymore, because there's a trails on neural path in our minds, in our brain, established firmly. Something like that. Something like we walking too. A toddler learned to walk for a couple of months, but do you think to walk now? No, you don't need to think to walk, right? Because it's becomes your habitual memory, and you just walk without thinking. Same thing is awakening. Once you identify you as the awareness only, it takes a little while, months or years, to become natural. So here is get high skills. How are you? I'm very good, thank you. I wanted to ask how to stabilize being throughout the day while working. So working, you need one point concentration. You need highly focus on the flow of the work. But once a while, you may have a gap or break, right? So even you can check, you can be asked, how to say, let the awareness be aware of itself, like a back and forth. But in the working, like now, you're more outgoing attention. Like now I'm talking to you, you're listening to me. It's outgoing process. But in the work, you we always can find a gap that you can ask the awareness back to its source again, meaning the awareness be aware of itself, like now. So have this kind of practice, awareness, be aware of itself more and more. And even in the talking, in the listening, we have that sense that I am awareness. The talking or the listening or doing is just a manifestation of that awareness. Make sense to you or no? Does the process ever end? It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't. Yes, you again, sometimes we are offline. Let's say the awareness cannot be aware of itself or not consciously be aware of itself. I call it offline. Sometimes we are offline, sometimes we are online, right? Online means awareness can back to its source and relax and just be silent, being still, be wise, be loving. So online, offline, if you just begin to realize awareness can be aware of. The ratio between online and offline will be like for beginner maybe 99% or offline, and then only 1% is online. But the ratio will change to 80% of offline, 20% of online, and it now the ratio of online or the time of online is more and more, while offline is less and less. So that's the process in the real practice. But Buddha said again, you need no time and situation to be online because you are always aware. We are always aware, except the deep sleep without dream. That's another exception. I talk about this deep sleep without dream. You are offline, but it's a little bit different. Don't fight thought. Thought is you. The more you embrace it, the more you realize it. All is thought is awareness. Though a thought is natural, it's our way of understanding ourselves in the finite form. Yes, don't fight thought. Thought is our thinking. The power of thinking is a gift as a human being. You're not dog. You're not a rock. We are not. So, but at the same time, don't be fooled by thought. So as Osho said, mind, a beautiful servant, a terrible master. So whole awakening is understand thoughts. Why? And first we have to perceive the thoughts. We have to watch it. Then from that perceiving a stable observation, we can understand it. From the understanding, we can manage it. And so thought, emotions has very close relation, or just call it mind. Mind includes thinking, includes memorizing, and emotions. And it's a way of understanding the finite form. Yes, use it just as a use a knife to cut the fruit, but be careful not cut the fingers. Being is our most natural place to be, but though we'll say otherwise, don't fight thought though. Let thought say otherwise. Yes, then you will understand undisturbed by thought. Yes. Without thinking, we cannot talk. So in Buddha's teaching, the mind is a carrier to the other shore. Maybe in the Zen Buddhism, you heard the other shore. The other shore is not far away, is here and now. But to arrive the other shore, which is here and now, we may use the thought. Now we are using the conversation, manifestation of thinking, right? Understanding, logic, reasoning, to the other shore, which is already here and now. But to land on the other shore, you won't carry the boat. You have to drop the boat. In this context is silent. Being silent. Your true being is right here and now. It's in everybody. I have been reading The Art of Living since you raved about it so much. Beautiful book. Yeah, I haven't finished yet. The Art of Living is right in front of me again. I look to, while I'm talking to you, I'm facing this Master Thich Nhat Hanh in front of me, and as a reminder that we are the pure, loving awareness. I love it because it's the late book of Thich Nhat Hanh. Is so mature, and every word contains kind of wisdom. Definitely, it's a beautiful one. It's carries infinite love and energy. So here, I invite you to have some exercise of awakening. Uh, My first question: are you aware? Okay, let's back to the question. Why do people pray to Buddha if Buddha himself says he is them already? Do people see Buddha as God apart from them? This very beautiful question, very important. So, seems like as a student, you need a teacher first, right? Everything in the world. If you learn something, long time ago we learned from teacher. Now we can learn from YouTube or books. But any YouTube is source of teaching too, right? Or a book is a source of teaching. We need some object to study. So if I simplify every, all the things in the world, there's so many things, items, maybe infinite numbers. If we see how civilization categorized the subjects of science, philosophy, arts, so many categories. But I can simplify all the infinite items of the nature and civilization into two things. Okay. First is I. Second is everything that is not I. Make sense to you? So As a beginning, when you don't know who I am, you need the object to study. As a subject, we always need an object. Subject and object coexists. So as a disciple of Buddha, we need to study the Buddha as an image, as a textbook, as a mantra, as a sutra, as all the rituals. Is some studying first from the subject and the object. Object is a study of all the items of awareness, and the subject is the pure awareness. But finally, initially we need this separation of subject or I and object, the contents of awareness or everything that is not I. We need this separation to study, to follow a master or teacher or Buddha or God or Jesus Christ. But eventually, all the teaching is asking you to, who is studying the there is any difference between the subject and the object? Is there any difference between I and everything that is not I? If you one day you realize there's no difference between I and the contents of I, you're awakened. At least you understand it, then all your practice following that understanding will make sense. Otherwise, you or we are not on the right path because you don't have a right view yet. You don't know the destination yet. If so, we pray to the Buddha to learn his wisdom, his compassion, his teaching in a relation of subject and object. But once you really learn the Buddha's teaching, he will tell you the subject and object are identical. There's no apart. There's no separation. It's a yoga. The practitioner and the practice is one. So that's an ultimate realization. The whole world is all you, yet only you. There's if I say everything is you, it sounds very crazy. People see Buddha as God? I don't think so. The biggest difference between the Buddhism and Christianity is that Buddha says everybody has the Buddha nature. It implies that you are the God already. So in Christianity, they don't say that thing. They don't say you are the God. No. What is Om? I'm not sure of it. So better not saying it. Definitely there's some meaning. It is very impressive how Buddha came across the realization. Then again, 30 years of meditation is no small feast. Definitely, yes. It's Buddha sit on the before he can awaken. He has 9 years of practice, right? Different style, different lineage, different practice. And finally, or eventually, he developed his own teaching, neutral way, not too extreme of not too luxurious. Just said God is in you. Yes, if you understand that, then in that perspective, God's teaching and the Buddha's teaching is the same. The destination is always same, but the way may be different. Muhammad, Jesus, and Buddha are the same, just different teachings and different people. Yes, teachings have just been misinterpreted and bastardized along the way. Of course, I totally agree with you. There's only one final destination, the ultimate truth. Muhammad, Jesus, and Buddha, they use different teaching, different symbol, different words to shoot different people. You cannot ask a person only eat like a food. We have so many selections. You cannot. You have to eat fish. You cannot eat beef, or you have to eat cabbage. You cannot eat carrot, right? So it's about different teachings fits different people. That's all. But finally, love your enemy, right? Love your enemy in Buddhism is compassion. You reach the realization you're one with your family, with your community, with your friends, with the enemy. I am that I am is a phrase constantly repeated by people throughout the Christianity faith. I just stood too close to the words to glean their true meaning. Oh, this is I am contains infinite information and energy. There's no top line to understand that. So the life goes on to understand its infinite meaning. But but the minimum is that you have a bottom line. You stand on the bottom line that I am. The awareness can be free from all the contents of the awareness and the state have a statement that I am. So this is the bottom line, but there's no top line. I think it's wise for religious practitioners to study other religions to gain this deeper understanding. Yes, I almost have 10 years of Buddha's Buddhism study. So now I'm interested in all the Bibles now. I listen to some, you know, Bible's teaching or Jesus teaching now. Why not? They use different language, symbols. The whole thing is, can you open yourself? Can you letting go all the rigid understanding and embrace the new teaching? Embrace the new stuff. By also in the new study, you filtering all the dusts or the garbages. And the bottom line is again, you can be silent. The awareness can be aware of itself. This is the bottom line. The awareness can be free from the contents of the awareness. This is bottom line. What will happen after this realization? There's no limitation at all. There are infinite applications after this realization that the awareness can be freed from all the contents of awareness and rest in its pure, loving essence, like now. You have been great teacher. Thank you. I just share my little bit understanding I grasped or I understood from Buddha's teaching, which is fantastic. It's kind of like yummy food. So very delicious food. Once you taste it, like you have a you can done a very good meal. It's really delicious, and you introduce it to your friends, something like that. You share your delicious food to your family, your friends. Hey, come and have a try. So delicious. It's so organic, healthy. Calming. Same way as this Buddha's teaching. I hope others can begin their journey through you like you do. Thank you. Everybody can. Depends on the conditioning. When condition comes, everyone could awaken. Everyone can be free from the samsara or suffering. I always thought that Buddhism was the work of the devil, but when I came across you, okay. You see how Buddhism can change everyone like us. I saw no evil. I saw someone kind and compassionate and wanting anything, not asking for anything, just teaching. Yes, You see, Buddha is a being, realize there's no one, okay? There's no self. Do you think sunlight is selfish? No. Sunlight shines on planet Earth evenly without any judgments. And we could be that sunlight. Actually, the light of awareness or consciousness is shining now. You are aware, that's the light within. That's the light of God. The very function of being aware is the touching of God's hand. Why you can be aware? Why are you aware now? That's a profound question, trust me. Scientists cannot resolve this question. Why we are conscious? It arrives from the matter. Because of the matter you are aware? I don't think so. Because we are aware, matter arrives. It's the opposite. I was always taught I didn't practically think it myself. In fact, I doubt it because monks always approached with a smile when handing out pamphlets and prayer beads. Yes, smiling is the most. Smiling is the start of friendship. Smile is a beginning of love. Very simple. Yesterday I went to swimming pool with my kids and my friend. You know, in the swimming pool, a big one, all the kids are so relaxed. They smile. Smiling means you are relaxed, especially mentally relaxed. And kids have more tendency to smile than adults. It's a pity. But there's some, in the swimming pool, there's some adults are smiling too, but less than kids. Kids that just have fun, play with water, screaming sometimes. Yeah, swimming pool. The time in swimming pool becomes my meditation time. You see, once you realize you are the light, you try to relay that light in all kinds of form. As a monk, maybe a pamphlet and prayer beads, or mantra or sutra. As you, I don't know what's your job or career, or you're still a student. Everyone express their love differently in a very unique way. And it's very precious, right? Everyone is different, unique. So once you're awakened, you use your unique way to express your love, to serve, to care. to contribute. That's the beautiful. That's how beautiful we are, actually. If you look that way, the in how to say, the localized, individualized experience become very powerful, because no one in the world now are identical as you in terms of the uniqueness to serve. There's only you now. There's only um, very uniqueness of form and body and mind. So I don't know, Adonis or Adonais, in this 7 billion population, there's only one Adonis Fitz. I don't know your true name, but it's okay. There's only you in this specific and unique name and form. And there's only one Dong Li here in the 7 billion population. That's how precious you are. Hello, Kristen. Any suggestion on how to sustain the light when external factors happen? To be unshakable on, yes. So external factors will always happen. You cannot stop it. Once you open eyes, it happens. It's like a mirror can reflect. A mirror cannot be called a mirror if it cannot reflect things. So the moment you're aware, all the phenomenal world happens. All the things happening. Unless you fall deep sleep without dream, nothing will happen there. So don't try to stop happening. Try to understand what is happening and how I can respond. That's a conscious choice. It's a second born. So I years ago I said enlightenment is a second born. Born. So why second? First born from the womb is a not conscious choice. Everybody was born from mother's womb, right? It's not our conscious choice. But we could have the second born and it's a conscious choice. Meaning how you respond to the external factors could be trained and could be conscious choice. Unshakable arm, yes. Once you realize you're unshakable, nothing can shake you. So in the same metaphor, mirror and its reflections, can any reflection really touch the mirror? No way. In the same way, can any contents of the awareness touch the awareness only, touch the awareness? No way. That understanding should be firmly established. Then apply this understanding into your everyday life. If you notice you're disturbed or stimulated, you become anxious, angry, depressed, whatever. You back to the source. Rest the source of that anxiety, depression, is that thing, the awareness, that aware of the awareness, that aware that you are anxious and angry, is that the awareness is anxious? No. So you are unshakable. You, the awareness, is unshakable. This understanding should be firmly established. Then use this understanding into your everyday life. The more you experienced, the more you can be stabilized or calm in the face of challenges or difficulties, the more you realize your understanding is true. And it's true for you. It's true for you because now you realize it. And it's a conscious approach. Conscious here meaning being conscious, meaning the consciousness, the awareness has to take part in the action. Make sense? You know you're listening now. It's an inward checking. I know I'm talking now. It's a inward affirmation. The light is always there. The light is a synonym of being aware. Light can enlighten things, also expel darkness. Once you realize you are the light, you are enlightened. Make sense? The light itself realizes its light. So it's better to put the conscious light here. A conscious light, notice it is conscious light. So it's a loop, it's a circulation, it's a circle now. And you realize you're unshakable. We seems to be disturbed because we feed our attention outwards. That's a disturbance, the origin of the disturbance or any sufferings or anxieties. Enlightenment as conscious choice and good reminder about contents of awareness and how to make sense in everyday life and towards the awareness is unshakable calm. So the real practice is in the real everyday life. Trust me. We need that garbage to compost. we need understand a garbage is not a garbage. Then you are enlightened. Everything you see, you can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and think. Is our temple. Is our altar. Because everything we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and think is in the awareness. Look around. Everything is in your awareness, right? Every thought is in your aware too. You are in the temple right now. Practice in your temple. Understanding everything in your awareness cannot disturb you. And you can calm. You can be calm, still, and then loving. Loving is the realization while after you can stabilize the recognition that you are innately calm and still. Loving is the application of the pure awareness. It's an outgoing touching of the world. Or the outgoing, a conscious choice of touching the reflections in the perspective of mirror. First, you try to get become enough undisturbed, right? So there's a separation between the mirror and the reflections, between the awareness and the contents of awareness. That's a separation. It's a safe zone. You try to do it because before we are disturbed by it. So you want to have that safe zone, a shield of protection. It's okay. But once you can stabilize it, you are stable still enough, you can reach out, have loving attributes, attributes. That loving attribute rising from this inner stillness and calm, touching the reflections or the contents of the awareness, meaning your relative, your family, your job, your colleagues, your community, the whole world, you can touching now. Because now you're stable and still. Makes sense to you? But if you're not stable enough, you just maybe back to the source again to recharge yourself, to recognize the essence of who you are sufficiently, and you can reach out again, have that loving, compassionate light going out. So the whole world becomes your practice. It's not, the real practice is not in the temples or mountains. It's in the world, in the negativity. There's no negativity, but as a word, it has an limitation. And finally, gradually, there's no practice. Practice is still a conscious effort. It's still a conscious effort. So in this perspective, Taoism has its final realization. You are in the Tao right now. All your expression of love, compassion, and care and the wisdom could be very natural flow of the whole cosmic intelligence. That's the final station. That's the final destination. You don't practice. You don't meditate. You just be. You don't follow a teacher. But before you can reach that final realization, have some effort, have some energy and time, investigation. So sudden enlightenment and gradual enlightenment plays, it's a complementary to each other. Why not? And finally, that you realize there's no enlightenment because you're enlightened already. So it's very hard to understand here. So if there's your best friend he's a performer or dancer, he or she comes to the stage and declare that I am a human. You will see, in front of hundreds of people on a stage, he or she declares that I am a human. You will find him very strange and weird, right? Of course, you're human because we are all human. So in the same way, a Buddha never declares, I am Buddha. I'm enlightened. No, because you are Buddha already. You are enlightened already. So there's no statement that you are enlightened. If you declare you are enlightened, you are not enlightened. So words reach its limitation here. Words is a convey, is a carrier of an awakening, but it's not awakening. There's no awakening either. That's the absolute teaching. Everything you say need a context, need a comparison. And after 49 years of teaching of Buddha, Buddha said he taught nothing. He's right. Absolutely right. He teaches nothing. Because all his teaching is the reflections of the mirror, not the mirror itself. All our words, all my words now, all your understanding now is the reflections in your conscious mirror. It's not the mirror itself. Who is listening? That thing, the essence of who you are, is beyond words, is beyond understanding, is beyond any form and name. And there or here, you are with God. You are in the heaven. Show your gratitude now. Show our appreciations of all the sages' teachings. Also, love yourself. Because love yourself is love your others. It's a selfless self. A self has no boundary, has no limitation. A self includes all, so it's selfless. You realize you're the entire ocean. You love every drops. You love every current. You love yourself. That's ultimate love. And we are in that ultimate love now. Do you recognize it? Total blessed. Totally blessed. A total freedom. Everything we can see, hear, touch, taste, smell, and think is magic, is a bless. No matter how seemingly unpleasant or pleasant it looks, underneath all the disguises, appearances, there is ultimate truth. Once you discover it, because you discovered who you are, you can discover the truth underneath every disappearances or disguises. That's called awakening. and you realize it's originally there or here for thousands, millions years, a beginningless time. We are standing with God. We are embraced by God. We are in the light of God. We are the light of God. Always. From beginningless time. That's how precious we are. How beautiful we are. How blessed we are. This is the greatest contribution you can render to the world, to the Mother Universe. A lost child has been returned to the home for many, many, many years. If you really understand what I'm sharing here, we are in the same boat. We are doing the great job, the greatest job. Nothing can beat this. Because you reach your eternity. You recognize your infinity. Everything you see, touch, smell, taste, think, hear is infinite, eternal, and beautiful, precious, transparent, luminous, collective, perfect, joyful, wise. You are invincible. You are unstoppable. You are unshakable. You are beyond birth and death. Even death cannot shake you anymore. And you realize there's no birth and death, okay? There's only you, eternal, everlasting life. Tell me anything that can beat this realization. Tell me. Everything in the world is fleeting in the cycle of birth and death. Only when you reach the level beyond birth and death, you are awakened. Sorry, there's a noise outside. Maybe that's all for today. Happy New Year. And tomorrow I will still be here, I think, in the morning. Tomorrow. Today is Friday. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Vancouver time.